Welcome. We are back. How is everybody doing? What is up, Daryl? What is up, Brian? What is up, AD? What is up, Tyler? Chris? Commando? Today, Mr. S. Welcome, everybody. We are charting. We are back. Big week ahead of us. Before we get started with anything, for the 24 people already here, thank you for showing up. I'm not too sure, how many people will be here on a Sunday night, but there's definitely a lot of things going on that I want to go over before the week does start. Welcome to the stream, Corbin. Glad to have you. Basically, what I'm doing here is I go over a bunch of stocks and cryptos. Some of them that I personally want to show to you guys, and then others I'll take from the chat. Just trying to help people out, and really good community. Thank you guys so much for the support. Already getting some big numbers up in the stream. I thought it was going to be a lot more, chill because it is a Sunday night, but I guess you guys are ready for this week. So let's get right into it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Like 80% of my viewers aren't subscribed. So if that's you, just hit that button. It looks like that right over my head. And we already got 9 likes. Can we get to 20 likes? Literally just hit that like button. If you support what I'm doing, just helps to grow the stream. And if you want to send me a tip, it is the first link in the description, but it's also the pinned comment in the chat. If you send me a tip for over or $3 or higher and you request an asset in that tip, I will look at that asset like literally the second I see the tip. That's just like a little reward I'm doing, but already over 30 viewers. So let's stop talking, get to the analysis. Let me take a look at the chat. What is up, Miguel? What is up, Corbin? Eric? Brian says, been trying to replicate some older charts. Any info appreciated? Not too sure what you mean by that. And then we have a bunch of requests, so we're gonna get started. We're gonna go into Fisker, and I'm gonna go through a bunch of things in the chat, so let's get right to it. Fisker, I've been seeing a lot of people posting very similar charts, and I do get the idea. I've been talking about this idea pretty much since the beginning of last week, but basically, as you can see here on the 4-hour chart, what's basically been happening since we bounced off of the PCZ of the bullish butterfly that I posted at $9. Obviously, we already ran up like 100% since then. If you would have bought at the lower part of the PCZ, you would have doubled your money in like 2 weeks. So this bullish butterfly was legendary. But since then, what's basically been happening is you get a run up and then you pull back for about a week. Well, not a week, like 4 days. You run up really fast, then you pull back for like 4 days. Then you run up, then over here you went kind of like sideways, and now you ran up again, and then it's pulling back a little bit. So some people are putting like falling wedges, channels, regardless of how you interpret it. What is up, Steven? How you doing? Thank you for all the tips you've been sending, really appreciate it. But yeah, regardless of how you look at it, it's just consolidation after a leg up, which means that the asset is either being reaccumulated, which means that more buyers are coming in, but we're not getting the demand we need to see higher prices yet, or people are just simply taking profits. So, I mean, let's zoom into the 1 hour. Again, I don't usually use the 1 hour for my trades, but for something that we've already, been talking about since $9, I think there is a lot of value here. So obviously you did have a classic falling wedge on the 1 hour. Posted this literally on a Friday. Like, I posted it right before that happened. So once it broke out, I posted it on my Twitter. My Twitter is in the bottom left of the screen. If you want to follow me there, I post live updates and trade setups. But I posted this falling wedge on a Friday. Then on Monday, you gapped up. Still have not filled that gap. It probably is a breakaway gap, so don't worry about it. You broke the 200-day moving average, and since then it's just been running. Then over here, you can look at this like a channel, like a pennant, however you want to look at it. You're just going sideways after a run up. So then you ran up one more time, and now we're here in a new consolidation period. This is the longest consolidation period since we bounced at the PCZ of the bullish butterfly. But the easiest way to really look at it is, you're just in between the support range and the resistance range. The support range is like $15 to $16. That's where, there could be a very big bounce. Because if we look at $14.99, which is what I was saying we needed to break, I think that was, I was saying that not last week, but the week before. I kept on saying we need to break $14.99, we need to break $14.99, because it was resistance all throughout October. Once we broke 14.99, we went to my next target, which was 18.21, and no higher. We did not get higher than that. The reason for that is because it was the highest point on September 15th before the massive dump to under $10. So that is why your support is in between $15 to $16. It has bounced off of there about 2 times now. And your resistance, the big resistance is like 1830, which I just showed you. But the local resistance is 1750. On November 18th, when it did hit 1750, I literally put out a tweet saying, be careful, because 1750 could be a place where it pulls back, and that's exactly what happened. So again, it's just range bound right now. There is hidden bullish divergence on the 1 hour. I can show that to you guys on the MACD. Target, I will look at Target. I think you're the same person that was requesting it on Twitter like 3 different times. So the first ticker I look at will be Target after Fisker. As you can see on the MACD, I've been showing this. This is nothing new. I've been talking about hidden bullish divergence on the Fisker MACD since like November 17th when it started forming. I went over it on stream, and the hidden bullish divergence is still forming. It's just not confirmed yet. But again, it's the 1 hour. So there's not a major edge on the chart, and that's fine. You don't need to have a major edge to make money. You just need to have good risk management. And if it goes down, you're going to lose so little, but if it goes up, you can make so much. And if you want to learn how to really do that, I have a free course on my channel on how I trade, how I use charts. The link for my free course is in the description. But yeah, it's just in between this channel, no major edge. The MACD did cross over to red on the 4 hour, but there was no bearish divergence or anything. It was just a regular crossover. So today is asking, what would be the next resistance if we break 2165? Would you use fibs? Thanks. Hope you had a relaxing weekend. Did have a pretty good weekend. I will look at that in a second. Yes, I would definitely use fibs, because when you're approaching all-time highs and there is no data looking left, the only thing you can do is use Fibonacci. But we just hit 41 concurrent viewers. I think that is right around like my record for viewers. I think my record is 42, and that's like what we're currently right at. So let's see if we could break the live viewer record on a Sunday night, not even a trading day. Thank you guys very much. I think we just broke it, 43 concurrent viewers. I think that is the highest. So let's get some hype in the chat. Thank you guys so much. Like from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much for that. 45, we definitely broke it. We just hit the all-time viewer record on my channel. What is up, Jay? Make sure to hit that like button. We already got 17. Let's get 3 more. Let's go to 20 likes. Super happy that we just broke another. We're literally breaking a record like every single stream, which is crazy. So thank you very much. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you want to tip me. That the link for that is in the chat, and it's also the pinned comment. It's the pinned comment in the chat, and it's the first link in the description. So let's keep it going for the 46 people here. I'm just super happy. Let's go look at Target. But hopefully that Fisker chart just clears things up. Really just range bound for now. So Target. Oh wait, somebody did ask about how I would target it if it broke 2165. So 2165 is the all-time high on Fisker. And the way you would have to target that would be Fibonacci, and I can't really place that yet. You can't use Fibonacci until the price starts pivoting. So for example, let's say, I'm not saying this is going to happen, let's just say for educational purposes, we go to fill the 4 hour gap at 1546, and then we bounce there, and then we go to all-time highs, right? Let's say we go down to 1546, and then from there, there's a massive rally to all-time highs. The way to find targets would be you pull out your Fibonacci scale, you go from the previous swing high, which is currently 1821, and then you would go to the lowest point before the reversal, which theoretically, I'm not saying this is going to happen, I'm just saying if it did, you'd go anchor your Fibonacci to that point, and then these golden ratio extensions would be your targets. So as you can see, the 1618 would be the first one. After that would be the 2618. The 2618 would be the first resistance after all-time highs. That would be 2273, and then the 3618 would be 2549. Again, these are not actual targets yet because the price has not reversed to the upside yet. I'm just saying if it does, that's how you would do it, assuming it bounced off 1546. If you want to learn about Fibonacci, it's course video number 4 on my channel. 48 concurrent viewers. Oh my gosh, thank you guys so much. Let's keep it going. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Gonna be a great week. The last 2 weeks were insane. If you follow me on Twitter, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that is Fisker. Let's move on to Target. After Target, I am going to show the trades from the last 2 weeks. So if you want me to look at something, drop in the chat. I'm going to try my best to get to as many things as possible. But for example, Target is something we could use Fibonacci for, because it is pretty much at an all-time high. So this is how you would use Fibonacci here, because there is no other resistance looking left. You go from your previous swing high to your previous swing low, and then here are your targets on target, pun intended. So your 1618 is 177, and your 2618 is about 193. There is hidden bullish divergence on the daily on target, which means you made a higher low on price, but you made a lower low on your MACD. You also have hidden bullish divergence on your RSI. As you can see, you made a lower low on your RSI, but you made a higher low on price. So the daily does look really good on target. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. Let me just clear this off the chart. What do you think about DNT? Are you talking about the crypto Robber M20? I'm just trying to clear up my chart so it looks a little bit better. So any divergence here? Not really. I wouldn't say there's much divergence on the 4 hour. Maybe some 4 hour divergence on the RSI, and not much of a pattern either. Your support would just be your previous swing high. So that would be 167. If 167 ever broke, the next support would be 150. As you can see, you bounced off that 2 different times. So yeah, that's target. These are the green lines are your supports, and the orange lines are the resistances. So Corbin is asking, do I stream during the market? While the market's open, I have never streamed, just because I have college and I have work, and I also trade myself. But this week, for Thanksgiving week, I actually do not have college. So the goal, and I hope you guys can make it. I don't know if you guys have work and stuff this week, but the goal this week is to do 2 or 3 day streams. So like literally, I'm planning on going live, maybe even potentially tomorrow. What is up, Daniel? How you doing? So I'm potentially planning on going live during the day tomorrow, and I might like trade on stream. I'm not gonna like show you guys my trades. Like I'm not gonna go on Robinhood or Webull or TD Ameritrade and show you guys my stuff. But like I know, I'll look at charts, show the supports and resistances. Maybe if there's a good day trade, I might take it on stream and we can look at it together, and then people can drop in the chat and ask me to look at things. So I think it would be pretty cool to go live during the market, and the goal is to do that. If you want to know when I'm going live, just follow me on Twitter, and I always put out a tweet when I am. Overstock and BigCommerce is being requested by Steven. We are going to take a look at both of those, because those were trade setups I put on my Twitter. So start off with Overstock. I think it's up like 14% since I posted it. So it did pull back towards the end of the day on Friday, but it had a crazy day. So let's take a look. I posted Overstock at 54.50. Yeah, it's up 14% since I posted it. It's a long-term trade. It was even higher. It went up to like 64. I think I sold like a third of my Overstock position, and I'm holding the other 2/3 for the gap fill. The weird thing is though, the gap did technically fill on the daily. Just keep that in mind. It's really close. So the highest point of Friday was 64.27, and the gap fill was 64.61. So technically it was like 35 cents off. So on the daily, the gap fill is 64.61, and the daily gap does matter more than the 4 hour. But I've just been looking at the 4 hour because that's how I charted it. But yeah, the idea here was to have classic bullish divergence on your daily MACD and RSI. On your 4 hour, you also have classic bullish divergence on your MACD and RSI, and it broke out of a falling wedge. It was at a critical support, as you can see. It bounced off of 48 on July 24th as well, and then it bounced off 48 on November 10th. So I just saw a lot of things pointing to a reversal in price, and that is exactly what happened. It went up 14%. Currently it's just playing out. This could be a decent profit taking level. It could pull back here, right around the 50% Fibonacci retrace of the pattern. That is technically how you would target a falling wedge, the 50% retrace. So that'd be like $65. And then the targets would be like 60, 660 is the gap fill on the 4 hour. If it does break 6660, the real, target, like I'm talking long term, could be $87, and that is a lower probability just because it really needs to have an insane rally to get there. But again, you just confirmed the classic bullish divergence on the daily, and there is really not a lot of resistance if you can break $70. Like if Overstock can really get over 70, it could have a part two. You know what I'm saying? It could run again. So thank you for the support, Vinay. I will look at DMYT. I'll try to look at that AD. CIIC. A lot of people have been talking about that. I'll try to take a look at Piton. So now let's look at BigCommerce. So here you are seeing a chart that I posted that is already up 14%. This is not the place to be entering. It already played out. You know what I'm saying? This was already posted on my Twitter last week, actually the week before last week. And it's been running like crazy. So, for people that aren't in, this is not really helpful. But here's what I can do. This is a setup I put out on, I think, Friday morning. This is very similar to what Overstock did. Very, very similar. So we're already seeing it play out on Overstock, and now I'm seeing something form very similarly on BigCommerce. So let's look at the similarities, I guess. You have bullish divergence, classic bullish divergence, on your 4-hour RSI and on the MACD. It is right next to the all-time low support of $64. So, if it falls under 64, that is a failed trade. I will be stopping out if it does reach a new all-time low, just because there is no support after that other than Fibonacci. And the 1618 is not going to be anywhere close, I can tell you that. So, the risk is down to $64. So about like a 5.5% risk or something like that. But, you do have classic bullish divergence. There is a gap fill to $72. And if we look at the daily, there's also classic bullish divergence. So on Overstock, when you had classic bullish divergence on the 4-hour and daily, it went up 14, technically it went up like 17% in a week. So this is showing a very similar thing to Overstock. And we saw how that played out. Also on the daily, you had a bullish pin bar candle, which is a reversal pattern or reversal candle. So that could be promising. So yeah, BigCommerce is currently showing very clear signs of a trend reversal in terms of the support, the gap it needs to fill, and the divergence. Again, classic divergence implies a reversal in price, and hidden divergence implies a continuation in price. So if there is a place for BigCommerce to reverse, it is going to be in this area. This would be the reversal area for BigCommerce. And the targets would be the $72 gap fill and the $79 gap fill. So very straightforward chart. Of course, nothing is ever certain, but I say this chart has about like a 70% probability of reversing here. I already have my position in BigCommerce. I know what I'm willing to risk, and I know where I want to take profit. So when you see a chart like this, no matter how good it looks, just be prepared for anything and make a plan of how you want to manage your trade after you enter it. So even before you hit that buy button, you should be knowing how much you're willing to risk on that trade, and you should also know where you're going to sell on that trade, because you don't want to take on a loss bigger than you anticipated, and you do not want to sell yourself too short or have a really unrealistic price target and then it just never gets there and it just goes back down. So that is BigCommerce, looking good but not certain, because nothing is ever certain. Thank you for 20 likes. Keep on hitting that like button. Let's keep it going. Thank you to the 40 people still here. So let's continue looking at all these tickers. Let's look at, I want to do some from before as well. I think we got Piton requested twice, maybe. Piton. Yeah, probably going to look at Piton now. So let's see what's up with that. Again, Piton, very interesting story, I guess. I don't know. So Piton was another trade setup that I posted on my Twitter. The buy for Piton was $100 on the dot, because that was your support around like November 10th, and it was also your previous resistance at the end of September. Also, it was showing classic bullish divergence on the 4-hour, and it was showing hidden bullish divergence on the daily. So somebody requested this. It looked really good. I posted it on my Twitter the next day, and what happened immediately was there was a stop hunt. It broke the support. It went $4 under the support, and then all of a sudden it just bounced right back over to close over $100. So pretty much anybody who had a classic stop loss of about 3% under the support got stopped out, and then as soon as everybody got stopped out, it rallied over to close above $100. So it was a very frustrating stop hunt. But again, I mean, even if you did get stopped out, you could have re-entered when it broke over 100, and that would have been like a 2% loss margin that you would have to make up, and it already has made up that loss margin. So I mean, since it broke over 100, it's up 10%. So my buying level for Piton was $100, and now it's 110. So it is up 10%. But again, like, I'm not going to say I called this or anything like that, because quite frankly, my stop loss on it was too tight. You know what I'm saying? The stop loss just was not optimal, and I'll be accountable for that for sure. When you have a trade that you lose 2% on compared to making 40% on 2 other trades, why do you care about the 2%? But I mean, again, on the same exact day, I actually went over it again at stream when it closed over 100, as you can see over here. On stream, I literally said it did close over 100, so technically there was no breach of the support, and technically it still looks good, and now it looks even better with the MACD about to cross over. So yeah, your gap fill is $122 on Piton, and I think 140 might be like a Fibonacci. Oh no, 140 is your all-time high, so the targets would be 122 for the gap fill. If that level breaks, you could go back to all-time high. Again, I've been showing this on stream every day for the past week. The place to enter was $100 for the best reward to risk ratio. That would be a 3 reward to risk, which is kind of like the minimum reward to risk you should be taking on a trade. So that is Piton. The stop hunt did suck, but I went over it as soon as it got stopped out, and I said it was still fine. And here you can see it is up 10% since I put that out. So Piton, thank you for 45 viewers. Make sure to hit that like button. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Just helps to grow the channel if you support the free analysis. And if you want to send me a tip, that is the pinned comment in the chat. Any tip, $3 or higher with a ticker request in it, I will look at it immediately just as a thank you. So that was Piton. Now let's take a look at Tilray. You got, dude, Tilray was insane. Very similar to when I called the bottom on Fisker. If you haven't been watching the stream for a while, I posted this bullish butterfly on Fisker when the price was $9. I literally have a 30-minute YouTube video on my channel when the price was $9, saying that it was a good time to buy and that it could reverse right there. And it went up 100% after hitting that pattern completion zone. So you would have doubled your money. And here's another one where I called the bottom. Like, even if it does pull back from here, it went up a lot after. So basically, I posted this on my Twitter. This is Tilray, a weed stock. It had a big run up after the Biden election, just because of Kamala Harris's policies or outlook on weed and legalization. So a lot of the weed stocks ran up, and then they've been selling off after like major 100% rallies and stuff like that. So I've been looking at Tilray for a while. Somebody requested it last week when it was like $7.50. And I said, do not buy it at $7.50, wait for a little bit longer. And I showed that 673 could be a reversal area. I put out a tweet on Twitter with the buy target of 673. As you can see, it literally went to, I think I was a couple cents off. So I was 5 cents off. Okay, I'm sorry. But yeah, the stop loss was 664. because falling under 673, there's not much support until 615. So I posted this on my Twitter. The entry was $6.73. It was a tight stop because you do not want to be under 673. It went down to that price, and then after hitting that price, it went up 9. Technically, if you use the candle wick, it went up 11% on Friday. So on Friday morning, I literally posted it saying, it is now the time to buy Tilray. I said this could be the reversal area, and it went up 11% in the late afternoon. So super hype about that. My personal target on Tilray is $8.40. As you can see, that was used as resistance a lot of times in the first half of the year. So, you know, 840 is probably where I'm going to be selling. I'm already up 11% because I did, you know, I had like the actual support zone. This was your resistance all throughout October. And you were also creating 4-hour classic bullish or 4-hour hidden bullish divergence where you made a lower low on your MACD, but you made a higher low on price, which means there was a higher probability that it would not come all the way back down to $5 and that it could bounce earlier. And then I used the horizontal support and it bounced right where I thought it would. It was also at a Fibonacci 7.8 or 78.6% retrace, which could be a reversal area. And yeah, there was just so many factors lining up for it to bounce, and that's what happened. Just keep in mind there is the 200-day moving average. That is currently at 784, so that could have some resistance. So just keep that in mind. But I feel like I've been on this chart for like 20 minutes, so let's move on. But definitely a great trade. Got a lot more requests coming in. LCA. Dominico asked, can we see a run on Tilray and ACB with decriminalization vote coming the first week of December? I did not even know about that. But depending on it goes, absolutely. That could be a catalyst. Vinay said, literally made 50 up once. I watched Tilray. Last suggestion entered at 690 and currently 740. So there you go. One of the members of this community saw my post or saw the stream where I have my level of 673, and he is now up, what is it, like 10%? Yeah, he's now up 11% since that level. So congrats to you. We need 5 more likes to 30 likes. Hit that like button if you haven't already. And let's move on to KCAC, requested by Doug F. So this is, I feel like I should be going over different charts because currently I'm just going over charts that already played out. Of course, it can keep rallying. The story with KCAC, I went over it on stream when the price was $13. There was a downsloping supply line and there was classic bullish divergence on the MACD and RSI. I threw up targets of 1581, 1727, and 1864. All 3 of those targets got hit and it kept on running, up 50% since that stream that I said it looked good on. And honestly, this could be an area where it pulls back. It is in a very deep Fibonacci retrace. So there's also a gap to fill at like 1450. I'm not saying it's going to go to 1450. That could have been a breakaway gap because the price went up so much higher after gapping up. So don't worry about that gap too much. But yeah, it just looks like a chart that already played out. There's not an edge to buy right now. Of course, the next real resistance is 2330. But again, you know, people are probably going to be taking profits soon. I'm assuming that most people that own this are currently in profit because the price ran up like crazy. So I don't want to look at it right now. When it shows more variables that are bullish, I will look at it. And of course, it could keep running. It's pretty much going parabolic right now. But this is just not typically, you know, I don't want to buy something that's up 50%. I'd rather buy something that's making a value retrace, that's in a value area where it could reverse to the upside. Buy low, sell high. There is no divergence on KCAC. Let's take a look at PIC. Welcome Print, the top donor of the stream. His name is in the top left of your screen. Thank you very much for all the tips, Print. And PIC is something I personally own. Again, I kind of put this out on Twitter, but I do not think that trying to see why I use this Fibonacci. Alright, I could probably delete this one. So PIC is something I currently own. I've been posting about it and I've been going over it on stream since it was $10. Basically the story was it needed to break the 200-day moving average. Once it did that, it ran up like 20% in price. So of course, it did pull back after hitting an 88.6% retrace. It broke the 1099 support and it broke the 1180, but then it closed back under 1180. So, it just had a 20% run and it's pulling back. People are taking profits. But I do not think this is really a technical play. There's not much on the chart, if I'm being honest. There's no divergence, there's no pattern. It was a straight line down and it was a straight line up. So I don't think that technical analysis is currently a big factor for PIC. I think fundamentally, if you look at what they're trying to do with bringing over combustion vehicles into electric vehicles, I think that's a very cool idea. They have, very good plans in terms of the business model, I guess is the right word to use. I do like their business model personally. Again, none of this is financial advice. I have a disclaimer in the description of all my streams. Just my opinion. I think they have a very innovative model fundamentally. So I think this is more of a fundamental play than a technical one. But what I can show you is 1099, the previous resistance. It was your resistance on October 9th and it was your resistance on November 18th. That could flip into a support. If it does come back down to 1099, it could very easily bounce off that level. Another thing we can use here is Fibonacci. So if we go from, and I'm slouching right now, I'm trying my best to sit up. So let's go from the swing low to the swing high. Wow. So 1099 would also be your 50% retrace, which is not technically a real Fibonacci line, but it just means you went halfway back down. So, an area where it could reverse back to the upside, if it does get there, would be between like $10.80 to $11. That could easily be a bounce area if it does come back down there. But again, there's just not a lot to work with in terms of the chart. The real play here, in my opinion, is, the fundamental play. That is PIC. Let's take a look at FEAC. Keep hitting that like button, guys. Let's get to 30 likes. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Just trying to help everybody out before the market opens this week. I think we're going to have a very volatile week in the market. So definitely manage your risk going into tomorrow and the rest of the week. Stop losses, position sizing, all of that good stuff. FEAC, it's kind of like a range, if I'm being honest, where like the top of the range is like 1433 and the bottom of the range is like $10. So you have your sell wall, you have your buy wall. There is a chance, no, actually nah, that was a lower low on the MACD, so forget about that. Not much divergence. There was hidden bullish divergence at $10, but it's obviously up 35% since then, or about 30%. So yeah, there's just not much of an edge. It's in a, in a channel right now. There's two things that could pretty much happen here, which would either be, I'm trying to look for the right tool to use here. Where's the tool at? Oh, it's right here. So either it could break 1443, and who knows how high it could go, or I would say that's like only like a 35% probability. The higher probability scenario here would be, since it did pull back at 1433, it could probably head back down to the bottom of the range. So there's like a 35% probability it does break 1433, and I could send it to even higher prices. But it looks more bearish than bullish, being at the top of the channel with failing to break out, and there is no divergence. So again, I wouldn't short it or anything, but maybe just look for another opportunity. It's just interesting, like, it does kind of look like a double bottom, but you don't want to be pulling back at 1433 if it's a real double bottom. You want to be breaking over 1433. So unless it really opens well tomorrow, it's not looking great. Like literally, if it's not, doesn't have a strong open with volume, it looks like it could just, fall back down. But that's just my opinion. A lot of people want to look at PLTR. Again, PLTR, just another thing that I've been going over on stream. Played out technically like perfectly. So let's look at it here. PLTR was in ascending triangle. Let me just move the Fibonacci so it looks a little bit more clear. So yeah, PLTR, I looked at it at $16. It was in an ascending triangle, which is a bullish continuation pattern. And I said the two scenarios where it either comes back down to the demand line, if it cannot break $16. But I said if it can break $16, it's probably going to go to 1865 very fast. Well, it literally went to 1865 within 4 hours the next morning. And the reason I had resistance at 1865, obviously there's no resistance there from the past because it's such a new chart. Very recently IPO'd company. 1865 was your golden ratio, and that was 1865. It ended up going right to 1865, and then it pulled back to 1752, and it just kept on using 1865 as resistance. I don't know. It's just failing to break 1865. If it can break 1865, the next target would be the 2618 at 2128. But the 1618 could be a reversal area very easily. So now, the new way to look at it is the real support. You have a minor support at 1754, which was your support 2 times on November 18th. But if 1754 can't hold, you might literally go back down to $16, which was your previous resistance on PLTR. So just keep that in mind. This is something that already played out. I went over it at $16, and it went up 16.5% after that. Or technically, if you use the candle wick, it went up 23% after that. So it just kind of looks like something that already played out. And the MACD looks like it could cross over to red if it does not open well tomorrow. Had a 4% red day on Friday. Just not great. Probably not great in terms of the short term. Long term, who knows, but it just had an insane rally, and it's right under the 1618, so this could be a reversal area. That is PLTR. Let's see what else. AAOI, appreciate the support, Jay. Again, for the 38 people here, 2 more likes until 30 likes. Can we hit that 30 like record? Not record, but 30 just 30 likes on the stream. And I will look at Ethereum and OXT for sure. 1 more like until 30 likes. We got 41 people in here. I know one of you haven't hit that liked button. There we go, 30 likes on the stream. Thank you very much. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And if you want to send me a tip, that is the pinned comment in the chat. It should be right on the top of your chat. But here we have AAOI. Not too... I don't know. It already did have classic bullish divergence, and it is pivoting a little bit. What I think could probably happen here is there could be a short-term rally, but the long-term is not good. In terms of like the long-term, you have a head and shoulders, which is a bearish pattern. As you can see, you have your left shoulder, you have your head, and you have your right shoulder. And the neckline was 973. It broke under 973. So not looking good there. I think what's currently happening on the chart is it created classic bullish divergence on both the RSI and the MACD. Classic bullish divergence implies a reversal. So as you can see, you made a higher low on your MACD. You made a higher low on your RSI, while you made a lower low on price. And what happened, it ran up from, about $7 to $8, a little bit over 10%. So you are getting a short-term rally, and it could continue. It's not even oversold yet. But the macro trend is just not good. So, keep that in mind. It could be a nice short-term trade. but the long term does look pretty ugly in my opinion. You kind of have class C, classic bullish divergence. Again, that might sound very complicated. It just means they're going down in price, but your MACD stayed the same, which is why it is class D or class C. So, just a lot of technical terms there if you want to learn more about that. Oscillators are video number 8 on my channel. I have a free course in the description. If you want to learn about some of these things I'm talking about, definitely check out my free course. Thank you very much for the subscription, Eric. Really appreciate it. So yeah, it could have a short-term rally. There's also a gap to fill at $9, but the macro trend is just not great. That is my read on AAOI. Now let's take a look at Ethereum. I'm a little bit salty about this one. So basically what happened was, on Friday I was looking at a chart called ETHE, which is Grayscale Ethereum, and I wanted to buy it. It's technically a stock. It's an ETF. So basically what it really technically does is track the price of Ethereum, but I think it's at much more of a value area than actually just buying Ethereum. So I wanted to buy this on Friday, but the issue was I need to deposit more money in my account. So I deposited money into my TD account to buy ETHE, and then TD Ameritrade told me I have to wait a week to use that money, so I couldn't get in on the trade. And since Friday, Ethereum has literally pumped. So it's very high probability that this chart is going to open green tomorrow, because it pretty much does track Ethereum. So it's like, I literally deposited money into my trading account to buy this, but they didn't let me, and now I'm missing out on making a decent amount of money. Not really FOMO because I'm not chasing a pump. It's just like, I'm missing out because they didn't let me buy it before it pumped. So that's why I'm just like a little bit salty. Hopefully TD Ameritrade can fix that, but I do understand why there is a waiting time to buy stuff like this. Obviously I could have just bought stocks and stuff, but probably going to be a pretty nice day tomorrow on ETHE. But in terms of Ethereum itself, the actual cryptocurrency, it broke 489 and it's just rallying. Steven, thank you very much. He said go follow Champion Vibe on Twitter. Made $1,200 last week from the Twitter callouts. Thank you very much, and appreciate all the tips you've been sending. If you guys do want to check me out on Twitter for live updates and for trade setups, it's in the bottom. Hold up, over there. Wait. Yeah, it's in the bottom left of your screen. My camera's inverted, so it kind of trips me out when I try to point at things. But Twitter's definitely the place to be if you want live updates. So yeah, Ethereum broke 489, which was the previous resistance. And there's not much resistance after breaking 489. You break 489 and you're already seeing what can happen. What we could use here is Fibonacci. So if we go from the previous swing high to the previous swing low, you're currently approaching your 1618, which is right at $600. It's like $5 under 600. So that could also be a psychological resistance, just an even $100 number. If it does break 600, which if you look at the daily, it easily could break 600. There's just not major resistance here. If it does break $600, the 2618 is $770. So absolutely crazy on Ethereum. Really wish TD Ameritrade would have let me buy ETHE on Friday, but rules and stuff like that. But it is what it is. There's always more opportunities. That is Ethereum. Now let's take a look at OXT for sure. Should be somewhere here. Because I was just moving around my watch list before the stream just because it was so full. Alright, there we go. So this is another crypto. Gene says, watch the course today, quality free content. Definitely a great place to learn technical analysis. No matter what level you're at. It literally starts out from beginning, or starts out from like the beginner level and goes all the way up to the advanced level, and it's only over like an hour long. So yeah guys, if you want a free course on learning how to do everything I'm doing, The link for that is in the description. I made it over this summer. You know, it took me like 3 weeks to make, just to make sure the quality was perfect and I got every single point that I wanted to make across. But it only came out to like an hour or something because I wanted it to be like condensed to give the most direct education possible without like venting and stuff. So if you want to learn TA, link for that's in the description. I will take a look at VMNT. Right now I'm just looking at OXT. Pretty sure the MACD divergence got canceled out. Technically you have 1 hour hidden bullish divergence. Thank you, Mrs. MRS. I don't know. Thank you, MRS, for the $5. Any information will help. And there's like 5 tickers there. I'll try to look at some of them, but thank you very much for the $5 donation. But just to finish up OXT, you technically have or almost have hidden bullish divergence on the 1 hour MACD, but again, it's the 1 hour MACD, so it's not super reliable. But if we do look at the 4 hour, I posted OXT on Twitter at 22.5 cents and then went all the way up to 27.6 cents. So it had a 23% run. It broke over the 200-day moving average. And what's currently happening now on OXT is, you know, you broke out of this pennant and now you just made a new pennant. It's kind of like a triangle, whatever you want to call it. And it's been using the 200-day moving average as support, as well as the upsloping demand line of the pennant. So that is OXT. It could bounce here with the 1 hour hidden bullish divergence, the 200-day moving average, the demand line of the channel. But again, nothing is certain. And if it doesn't bounce here, be careful. But you're definitely looking for a bounce here. So now let's go look at the requests. Let me pull it up one more time just to see what was requested. Thank you again for the $5. Really appreciate it. 4 likes away from 40 likes. Can we get there, guys? Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Just free analysis. So let's take a look at the tip request. Can you try and pull up a few of these? Basically, I'm going to look at all of them, but if like I see that it doesn't look great, like off the rip, I'm probably just going to skip over that one because you did ask for like, you know, multiple ones. Thank you, Commando, for the $5 donation. Really appreciate it. Goes a long way. Thank you very much. So thank you guys so much for the tips. Just trying to get these tickers on my watch list so I don't have to keep on looking back and forth. GCMG. So I'm gonna look at all of them. If something doesn't look good, probably just gonna skip it for time purposes. Commando VMNT. I will look at that for sure since you just tipped me. So I'm gonna look at that right away. VMNT. Tattooed Chef. I'll try to get to that AV. And Justin, I will try to get to Alibaba, Zoom, Facebook. Again, I'm not gonna be able to get to all of them, but I'm gonna get to as many as possible. So I'm gonna look at VMNT really quick. And then I'm going to get to the request from Mr. S or MRS, however I should be pronouncing it, not too sure. Just because Commando did request this in chat a little bit ago. No divergence on the 4 hour. No divergence on the daily. Kind of looks like a descending triangle. Not sure if it broke out yet. No breakout or anything. It's just kind of weird because it's so volatile, if I'm being honest. I don't know. Like, I feel like that's kind of the way you should be looking at it. So yeah, it's just a very volatile pattern that's consolidating just a little bit. But again, it doesn't look like a textbook pattern or anything just because of the candle wicks. The MACD did cross over, but there is no divergence. And it's just kind of like right in the middle of this triangle or pennant, whatever you want to call it. So, you know, your resistance would be around, depending on how long it takes to get there because the supply line is lowering, you know, it'd probably be like the mid 40-cent range. And then your support is like the low 30-cent range. So it's very volatile. I mean, this thing currently has a 50% support to resistance range. So it is, you know, it could go up, it could go down, and there's probably going to be very violent swings in both directions. There's just no divergence, unfortunately, if I'm being honest. But nice 10% day on Friday. If you do want a local resistance, there definitely is one at 40.9 cents. As you can see, that was used as resistance many times, and the last time it did break over it, it went from 41 cents to 50 cents. So it could be good to break over that, but holding under it could be bad. Appreciate the support, Bala. Need 2 more likes to 40 likes. Now let's look at some other tip requests. NGA, there's not much of an edge on this chart. Yeah, just 3 really insane gap ups, or 2 insane gap ups. Very volatile. I think this might be just skewed data. Don't really think about that too much. It just doesn't look like a real chart. I think the daily is showing the real data. This might be a recently IPO'd ticker. So there's not much I can do here in terms of technical analysis. There's just not much data. Maybe I could use this swing high to this swing low and give you Fibonacci lines of 1050, 1090, 1132. But again, it's just such a new chart, so none of that is high probability. I don't know. But you did request a bunch of them, so we could look at them. So yeah, Narissa is saying it is a newly IPO'd company merging with the Lion Electric. So I'm sorry, there's just not much I can do there. This one is, again, the same exact thing. I think you're requesting SPACs. Are these all special purpose acquisition corporations? I'm not sure. It's just, you know, their supports are like $10 and they're not really going crazy. This one did kind of go crazy. Yeah, these are all SPACs. So of course you have the $10 share redemption price, which on most SPACs is the support level. So you want to hold above $10. But over here, technically, if you're being spot on, the real support is like $9.85. As you can see, that's what it was really holding. But there's just not enough data. You know what I'm saying? Technical analysis doesn't really work for a straight line up or a straight line down. Technical analysis works best for, like, you know, going sideways, consolidation, patterns, divergence. So, you know, in a few weeks, there could be an edge on this chart. I'm just not too sure what will happen in the short term in terms of technical analysis. There's just like literally nothing to look at currently. So I'm just going to keep on running through them. Same exact thing on FII. I'm not just, you know, trying to run through these super quick. If they had something to look at, I would definitely do it. It's just a straight line up. And it's, you know, 5% away from the $10 redemption price. So if I'm being honest, what matters more for all of these tickers is the fundamentals. You know, they're very new SPACs, so they probably have some time to merge, or maybe not. Do your own research on that. But, you know, at least for the short term, until it starts developing more data, the technicals really don't matter on those companies. What really matters on those charts, or not on the charts, but for those stocks, is the fundamentals. If it's a good company and they have a good plan, it can go up in price. If not, then it probably won't. But in terms of technical analysis, there's just not much I can look at. Same thing here. Might be skewed data. Alright, so this one does have a little bit more. We can look at that. Appreciate the support. Yeah, man. I try to get to all of my Twitter DMs. Might take me some time because I have been getting a lot. But definitely, if you want to contact me, Twitter is probably the best place to do so. This chart does have some more data. Again, for the 31 people here, thank you very much for coming out on a Sunday night. 33 people now. 2 more likes until 40 likes. Can we hit 40 likes? I know 2 of you have not hit that like button. So if you mess with the free analysis on a Sunday night, hit that like button. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to send me a tip, that's the pinned comment in the chat. So this one does have a little bit more data, thankfully. So your support is, you know, kind of like this green upsloping demand line. You also have the 200-day moving average right around it. So the support area, again, is just $10. It's a SPAC, so that's like the redemption price or around the redemption price of the shares. And you have a resistance at 1089. That was your resistance on September 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. If you can break over 1089, the next resistance is literally 1188. So definitely breaking over 1089 could be huge, could send you another 10% higher. But at the same time, it is a resistance, so it could pull back over here. Very, very slightly overbought on the daily. Would not worry about that too much right now. But yeah, your support is pretty much the 200-day moving average and the $10 redemption price. And your short-term resistance is 1089. If it can break 1089, probably going to go right up to 1188. So that's my read on RMG. Now GCMG, again, $10 support because it's a SPAC. Resistance, definitely some resistance, literally right at $11. So support 10, resistance 11, really not complicated at all. But you know, the charts really do not matter on very new companies like this. What matters is the fundamentals. Thank you very much for the $5 tip. Now we're gonna move on to, I think two different people requested Alibaba. Yeah, Justin and Vinay both requested that. So let's go take a look at that. Very, very interesting. So what happened here? Alibaba was in an upsloping channel. It broke out of it to the downside. I was looking at it literally the day that it broke to the downside, and I said take caution, and it went down 12% after that. Then what happened after that? On last Thursday, I showed, again, you can go look at that stream. I'm not buying just to say whatever I want. On last Thursday, I showed there was a bullish pin bar candle and there was a bullish engulfing candle. The bullish pin bar has like a little body, and it means that throughout the day, you did go pretty low in price, but it did close much higher than the lowest point of the day, which is a bullish sign, which means demand did come in at that lower price, hence the bullish pin bar. Then after the bullish pin bar, you got a bullish engulfing candle, which means the body of this candle engulfed the body of the last candle. So on Thursday, I showed you had two bullish reversal candles, and on Friday, it ran up like 4 or 5%, depending if you use the wick or the candle body. And the real thing to note here is it broke over 265. As you can see, 265 was the resistance all throughout July and August, and then 265 became the support in the first half of September, or pretty much all throughout September. So breaking over 265 was very big. I did not think it was going to be that easy to break over 265, but it did. So now your support is $265, and your target would be the gap fill to $290.50. So support 265. As you can see, that's why it is the support from the previous resistance and previous support. And target is the $290 gap fill. I don't see any divergence on the daily, and I don't see any divergence on the 4-hour. So hopefully that helps you. That's your support, that's your resistance. Let's take a look at VRM. I think that got requested a few times. I have been looking at VRM, so I think I have an idea of what it's currently doing. Just gonna clean up my watch list for a second, guys. Give me 1 minute. Trying to keep a little bit clean so I don't get, you know, too messed up trying to look for tickers and stuff. Alright, VRM. Thank you for 40 likes, by the way. We hit it. Also broke the concurrent viewer record tonight, so thank you for that. I think we hit like 49 or 50 viewers at one point. Insane. So VRM, it has this downsloping support line. Somebody requested it when it was literally on the downsloping support line, and I said it could bounce right there because there was also classic bullish divergence on the 4-hour. So I said, you know, you bounced off it 2 times already. probability says on the third time you will bounce off of it as well, and that is what happened. It went up like 13% after bouncing off of that. Classic bullish divergence still looks good. On the daily, you also have classic bullish divergence, which implies a reversal in price to the upside, so that does look good. And then you also have a gap to fill, not really on the daily, kind of on the daily. You were a few cents off from filling it. On the 4 hour, the gap does look clear. The gap is to 39.99, which could also be a psychological resistance. So your short-term your short-term resistance is $37. As you can see, it's been trying to break that for 2 days now, and it has not been able to break $37. If it does break $37, you would think that with the divergence, there would be a high probability of filling the gap to 39. You just want to get above 37. You do not want to, keep on failing to break that. You want to use that divergence, and you want to get over 37 as soon as possible. Aside from that, not too much. I think 29.96 was a Fibonacci line that I did previously on stream, but I don't remember how I anchored that. Might have been something. Was it this? I don't even remember how I anchored that. Yeah, just probably. I'm gonna have to look back and see what I did to get that support. Don't really remember right now, but 37 resistance and $40 gap fill on VRM. But you want to break this price or you could be headed back down. Emmanuel says, I don't know if you did, but NETE already just joined the live. Yeah, sure, I'll take a look at NETE. I don't think I've looked at it that much. I know Zach Morris on Twitter made that call, and it made a lot of people a lot of money. So shout out to Zach Morris. Been following him for a few weeks now, and it's it just had a 2x in price. So great call by him. Fair play. Also had earnings. I would expect the earnings were good. TradingView is showing they weren't. Again, it doesn't really matter. Even if the earnings were bad, the stock price is going up. So the reaction to the earnings was good. You also had a double bottom at 574. You bounced off your 200-day moving average. And it's just extremely volatile. It just had a crazy run. In terms of resistances, these would probably be your resistances. So let me just make that a little bit color-coded a bit. So yeah, 1333 could be a resistance. If that breaks, next resistance is probably 1647. That was your resistance all throughout the end of July and beginning of August. But again, this is not the place to be buying this asset if you are a swing trader. If you're a FOMO trader or a what's the word for continuation trend trader, maybe you want to buy this. I don't know. It's just it just went up over 100%, and there's many more opportunities for other stocks to do the same. So it's just extremely volatile, and it could go up to 1647. It could dump to $10, which is your closest support. So I don't know. Not much of an edge. Could go either way. I prefer things with a higher probability. What we can do is probably use Fibonacci here. From your last swing high to your last swing low. Yeah, those are your Fibonacci lines. The 1618 is 1111, the 2618, 1422, the 3618, 1747, and the 4236, $20. So those are a lot of levels to work with. Use them however you want to use them. But profit is always profit. And if you just made double your money, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. Of course, you can keep on running. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just saying don't be surprised if there is a pullback. I just don't know if there will be. Because you already saw it went up to 1382 and then went back down to 1260. So, when things run up like this, who knows what could happen. Again, TA really works the best and has the highest probability when you have consolidation, when you're making a double bottom, bouncing off the 200-day moving average, stuff like that. What this can lead to is this. But who knows what this will lead to. This could lead to up or it could lead to down with like a 50-50 probability. But over here there was like a 70% probability. So I like using, or I like entering when the probability is higher. So I spent a little bit more time on that chart just for educational purposes. But I hope that does help you. I did show you a bunch of levels as well. And that is NETE. Crazy run. Congrats to people who were in on it. Now let's look at Facebook. Then we're going to look at XRP. Thank you for 40 likes. If you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to send me a tip, it is the pinned comment in the chat. Let's look at Facebook now. Appreciate the support, Emmanuel. Then we're going to look at XRP. Crazy run on that as well. So Facebook. No divergence on the 4 hour. Alright, I'm just clicking the wrong button right now. Give me a second. No divergence on the daily. Looks like you have a ascending broadening wedge, which is technically a bearish pattern. So it looks, probably this is your resistance, and then this is your support, probably something like that. Yeah, so this is called an ascending broadening wedge. Technically a bearish pattern, but of course it could bounce off of this demand line because it's done that 3 times now. If it doesn't bounce off of this area, be careful, because the next support after that would be like $245. If it breaks 245, would be your 200-day moving average, wherever that is at the time. But Facebook, you want to bounce literally right here, or you could be headed back down to like $250. No divergence in a bearish pattern at a very high level in its history. And then also, if it does not bounce here, it's kind of like a double top, where that was your first high and this was your second high. So yeah, that is Facebook. Not looking too great, if I'm being honest, but we will have to see. Now let's move on to XRP, which is on my watch list. All right, so this is XRP. Crazy run for sure, long overdue. All XRP has pretty much done in a macro level since 2018 was go down in price. And as you can see, 26 cents is such an important level on XRP. You were using 26 cents as a support for literally over a year. Once you broke on your 26 cents, you were using 26 cents as a resistance for literally an entire year. Now what just happened on November 10th is you broke over 26 cents. As you can see, even locally it was using this level as resistance. Look how many times it couldn't break it. But once it did break it, also bounced off the 200-day moving average. It went up about like 80%. So it just had a crazy run. It is overbought on the daily RSI, and it is at a resistance level. 50 cents, as you can see, was where it reversed on June 22nd, 2019, and it's also where it currently has reversed at. Yeah, I mean, it's just near a resistance. If 50 cents can break, the next resistance is probably 56 cents. So yeah, be careful, because it has not broken 50 cents yet and it could dump. But at the same time, if it ever does break 50 cents, the next resistance is over 10% away at 56.4 cents. But yeah, overbought currently. under a resistance, be careful for sure. I want to see what the pattern looks like on the 1 hour. Nico says he took his profits from XRP and put it into OXT. I could go with that for sure. You know, taking some insane profits and then moving it over to something that could run in the near future. Definitely what a smart trader does. You know, obviously nothing is ever certain, but you know, hope it goes well for sure. Next up here is just currently in a channel, so let me try and show that for you. Parallel channel, anchor it. How did I anchor this before? I think like this, right? I feel like this would be the best way to look at it. It's not a perfect channel by any means, but you get the point. It's just like, how do I okay, there, that looks a lot better. I like that. Okay, so this is your support of the channel. It's bounced off of it about like 3 times now, so this area could be a bounce area, and I'm not gonna really I don't really care about the resistance line on the channel too much, because the real resistance is 50 cents. So this is your support that's upsloping. If it breaks, be careful. No divergence on the 1 hour, and your resistance is 50 cents. All right, so AH does want the day stream. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do the day stream. I'm not sure if it's gonna be tomorrow. It might be on Tuesday. But if the day stream does happen, I will put out a tweet. So make sure to follow me on Twitter in the bottom left of your screen. Hoping to do a day stream or a couple day streams this week, just because college is off for Thanksgiving break. And I think it would be really cool to, you know, be live while the market is open and things are actually moving, and maybe they could be like a good day trade I could do while I'm live. I think it'd be really cool. I just don't know. You know what I'm saying? It depends, because I feel like a lot of people still might have work and stuff this week. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'll throw it on my Twitter. I did look at OXT Commando. Just a brief overview, if I can find it. You could probably go back in the stream and find it, but just to make things easier for you. It's just currently independent. It broke out of this triangle that I posted at 22.5 cents, and it ran up to 28 cents. And now what it's doing is creating another pennant. It's bouncing off the 200-day moving average. Literally 20 minutes ago when I went over OXT, I said it could bounce right there. The price was right here on OXT, and I said, look, you're at the 200-day moving average. You're at an upsloping demand support. No, all right, let me just go over that again, because I'm messing up my words. You were at an upsloping demand line at the 200-day moving average, and I literally said 20 minutes ago, look for a bounce, and it just went up a few percent, so good for OXT. But in terms of like the macro pattern, you just want to hold the 200-day moving average, the upsloping support line. This is your supply line or resistance line. And if it breaks out, it could easily be headed to 28 cents, which was your resistance in the first half of October. Also, there's a potential chance of getting triple hidden bullish divergence. It's not like super clear, not really like textbook divergence, but you are going up in price while going down on the MACD. So when your price and your oscillator are doing the opposite things, that is called divergence. And hidden divergence implies price continuation to the upside, and classic divergence implies a reversal in price. But yeah, that's OXT. Doesn't look too bad. If it can just hold this support range, it should see higher prices. So just really want to keep on holding this area over there. I did already look at Facebook. Guess we could take a look at GNUS. I could show you my IDEX chart. I don't want to spend too much time on it. This is IDEX. Literally went to the exact level I showed last week on stream and reversed right there. I literally put 173 as the resistance because it was your resistance in July and August. And what happens when you have a past resistance? You can reverse there again, and that's what happened. There is a gap to 122. It is oversold. Just not a major edge on the chart right now, so don't want to spend too much time on it. It looks like it already played out, if I'm being honest. The real time to buy IDX was when it was showing classic bullish divergence on the daily at the bottom of a range. And what happens? It ran up over 100%. So again, the real place where TA can help you is during times like these when you have divergence and support. And then that can lead to stuff like this. But when you have stuff like this, there's just not much of an edge on the chart anymore. It can go higher, it can dump, don't know. Thank you again for the reminder for people to hit that like button, Rooster. I'm gonna actually make you a moderator right now in my chat, Rooster, because you're always trying to promote the stream in terms of support and stuff. So thank you for always showing up to the stream, Rooster. You were my first ever mod of the stream. I hope you carry that duty with dignity. Congratulations to the moderator, or the first moderator, Rooster. Yeah, there we go. We got the little moderator icon. So yeah, Rooster, just don't change the title or anything. I don't know what permissions moderator gives you, but it's just kind of like a thank you for supporting the stream so much. Now we're gonna move on to GNUS. Let's see what's up with that. Will wield the wrench with honor. Appreciate it. Genius had an insane pump during the summer. Currently just fell under the 200-day moving average, which is not good. No divergence on the daily. Nothing on the 4-hour. No major pattern either. All I could really do with this chart, your support is 97 cents and your resistance is the 200-day moving average, but you also have a gap fill to 141. So yeah, support $1 pretty much. It's a psychological support, and then resistances are the 200-day moving average and the gap fill at 141. No pattern at all on the 4-hour, just kind of being random right now. Not a major edge here, if I'm being honest. But thank you guys for 42 likes. I think we'll go through maybe 1 or 2 more tickers. So the next 2 people to drop something in the chat that I have not looked at yet, I'll look over that. But make sure to hit that like button if you haven't already. We got 42 likes. Let's try and get to like 45. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Like 80% of my viewers aren't even subscribed. So I should not be one of you, because I know you guys are subscribed. Come on. There's no way you're not subscribed. Justin, I already did look at Facebook. So you could probably scroll back and find that. Basically, I said I don't think Facebook looks too good if it doesn't bounce where it currently is. And the top donor print coming in with WTRH, another insane trade that I put out on my Twitter. If you want trades like these, follow me on Twitter. I'm not trying to have an ego. I'm just trying to show you guys what technical analysis can do for you. Okay? Get ready for this. I posted WTRH at $2.62, right when it was breaking out of this falling wedge. When the price was $2.62 last week, I put the target at $3.90. Okay? Now, why was that my target? Because it was resistance throughout the summer, and in September, it was around your 50% Fibonacci retrace of the falling wedge. And it literally went from 262 to 390 and then pulled back at 390. Like, I'm not trying to have an ego, I swear. But this is just a scenario where technical analysis is literally playing out 100% accurately. At 262, it was implying a movement to 390. It literally went right to 390 and pulled back there. That's just awesome. If I'm being real, like, how much was that? 50% profit, pretty much. Insane, like truly insane. Falling wedge, divergence on the 4-hour, divergence on the daily, bounce off the 200-day moving average. That is exactly what happens when you get variables like that lining up. Pulled right back at a previous resistance. This chart you're looking at right now is a perfect example of technical analysis and how useful it can be. It showed you the good level to buy at, and it showed you a level where profit taking could definitely make sense. So that's WTRH, the top winner from my trades last week, 50% profits. In terms of the future, very slightly overbought on the 4-hour. It did pull back at the 390 resistance I've been talking about. Not overbought on the daily yet, but you do have a gap. So the gap on WTRH is 347. So keep that in mind. Could bounce off that level if it does come back down there. But yeah, I mean, 347 is your support and $3.90 is your resistance. If it does break $3.90, the next target is your golden retrace, the 0.618, which is 411. But those are just your levels, I guess. So looking at this chart just makes me so proud because of how perfectly it played out. But it could definitely be headed for higher prices. This kind of looks like a double bottom over here, which I didn't even notice before. So just add that to the list of bullish variables leading to a 50% run-in price. And 347 support, 411 resistance. Now let's move on to I'm gonna do TTCF, and then we're gonna end it off with Neo. So Tattooed Chef, it's kind of glitched out on the 4-hour. So let's look at the daily. Yeah, just be careful. Same story that I've been going over on stream for a while now. It had a double top, and the support was 1606. It closed under 1606. And staying under 1606 for some time could be very bad. You want to get over that very quickly, because that's just your support. You close 2 different days under it, so be careful. Does not look great in my opinion under a support, and it's just currently sitting right in between the 1606 support turned resistance and the 200-day moving average. So the story here is if it breaks 1606, somehow miraculously, it could be headed up to fill the gap at like 1670. But if it continues to fail to break 1606, your next support is 1520, which is the 200-day moving average. If it breaks under the 200-day moving average as well, not good. That's all I'm gonna say. The next support is 1357. So TTCF, just not looking good in my opinion in terms of technical analysis. Let's move on to Neo to close things off. Thank you guys for 30 viewers. We got 42 likes. Let's get 3 more likes. Hit 45. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to send me a tip, it's the pinned comment in the chat. It's also the first link in the description. So let's look at DI. Do you want me to look at the crypto Neo? Because you spelled it NEO. So I don't think you mean the stock Neo. Just confirm that for me in the chat. Two more likes to 45, guys. Let's see if we can hit it. Would be greatly appreciated. I know 2 of you have not hit the like button yet, so make sure to do it if you haven't already. Yeah, he's looking for the crypto Neo. So let's take a look at this. Actually, I think I already have it charted on the Binance chart. Did not mean to do that. Okay, Neo USD, Binance. Hopefully I have it charted. No, I don't. All right, we'll chart it right now. Rooster saying, don't be that guy that doesn't give support for free analysis. One more like to 45. We're currently at 44. Thank you guys so much for all the support. We literally hit the concurrent viewer record tonight when we had 49 people in the stream earlier, which is insane. Played this back in 2017. Yes, this crypto's been around for a while. Let's see. Bounced off the 200-day moving average very nicely. That's that blue line that you can see. I don't know. Let's see what Fibonacci retrace it's currently at. From your swing low to swing high, it dipped down to literally the golden retrace and bounced up like crazy. For people that don't believe in Fibonacci, look at this. It went to the golden retrace, the strongest Fibonacci line, and went up 41%. That is Fibonacci for you. Course video number 4 on my channel if you want to learn how to use it. Insane. In terms of support, probably just use it like that, right? Yeah. The support is $16.95. That was your resistance on February 14th. And it was also your resistance on November 7th. So now you could get a support resistance flip, and $16.95 could be a support level. If it falls under that, be careful. But you still have another support under that at $16.01. But yeah, not much of a pattern here on the daily. Let's take a look at the 4-hour. No divergence either. You could get hidden bullish divergence. Nah, it made a lower low. I don't know. Maybe a channel. Let's see how the channel would look. Just trying to throw out different variables for you. Okay, kind of a channel. Just like an upsloping channel. This is your demand line, and then this is your supply line. But again, you just want to stay over $17. If you do stay over $17 for long enough, you could see 1925. That's just the next major resistance on this chart. So yeah, this is my look at Neo. If you want to take a screenshot, go for it. Just a crazy run after hitting a golden Fibonacci retrace. Nico's asking, what points do I drag Fibonacci? If you want to learn about it in depth, hit the free course link in my description, and it is course video number 4. But just generally speaking, let's go back to the daily. If you're looking for a buy target using Fibonacci, you go from low to high. So as you can see, the last swing low was in March. That was the lowest point you made before having a rally, right? So you go from your last swing low to your last swing high. Now this is called the swing high because it was the highest point you made before dumping. So you go from your swing low to swing high, and then there you can see after that it went to a 618 retrace. That pretty much means at the time it had a 62% sale. It's like, you know, this chart, this crypto is 62% off right now. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was kind of doing. And the 618 is the most useful Fibonacci line because it's a derivative of the golden ratio, which is it's like a weird thing. It's seen all throughout the universe in like bee colonies. Your belly button is actually at the 61.8% retrace of your body. It's seen in like DNA strands. It's like super crazy if I'm being honest. But it can also be used for trading, and you're currently seeing how useful it can be. So if you want to learn more about how to even use it for selling targets, it is course video number 4 on my channel. And we did hit 45 likes. Let's go. Thank you guys so much for all of the support. Rooster saying, remember, this is all for entertainment purposes. Do your own due diligence. Absolutely. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is ever 100% certain. It's just my opinion. So always do your own research. I'm just trying to help you manage your risk and understand technical analysis. But thank you guys so much for all the support. Insane. 45 likes, 240 playbacks already, and we hit my live viewer record earlier in the stream. I think we hit 49 or 50 live viewers, which is insane. I've only been streaming for about like a month now, maybe a little bit over a month, and we just hit 50 people in the stream. So thank you guys so much. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And I'm not sure when I will be live tomorrow. I might even go live 2 times tomorrow. But if you really want to know, I mean, typically I just I stream every single weeknight at 9:45 Eastern time. So that is where you're always going to see me at. Every single weeknight, I'm going to be live at 9:45 Eastern. Might be a few minutes late. Thank you for the subscription, Have a Death. And but tomorrow I might do a day stream while the market is open, just because I don't have school this week with Thanksgiving break. College is closed. So if I do find time during the day tomorrow to stream, I might go live during the day when the market's open. I think that'll be super cool. And if I do not go live during the day, I'm still going to be live at night at 9:45 EST. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you tomorrow at some point. Follow me on Twitter if you want live trade updates, alerts when I'm going live on YouTube, and if you want just a place to contact me and ask questions. Twitter is at Champion Vibe, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody, and trade safe this week. See you later.